Welcome back, everybody, to Falcon plays Tube Tycoon. As you can see, we're at -3 funds. We are living in the streets now. I am recording these videos from a library. I have the librarian right now telling me to shush up. You shush yourself up, lady! Don't you goddamn tell me to shush up when I'm recording my videos over here. Obviously, this is all happening in game, not in real life. In real life, they would probably call the cops on me and I'd be out in the streets right now, legitimately. But in the game, we're actually broke now. That's okay. It doesn't seem the game ends when you're broke. I think you're almost bound to be broke until you finally make enough money to start getting more subs and more views and things like that. So, not really a big deal. Before we get underway over here, we have topics to talk about here today that I've read in the comments that you guys want me to talk about, so I will. But before we do that, let's go ahead and record our first Floppy Bird episode, number 10. Really high interest. Let's go ahead and do that one. So, what are we talking about here today, Falcon? Well, very good question. I have been seeing a lot of comments asking me about dealing with negativity when it comes to like negative comments, when it comes to trolls, things like that. I personally do not have an issue with trolls. Like if people want to show up and like I don't know, cause an issue, just to cause an issue, that's okay with me. I don't really mind it too much. Let's see, for Floppy Bird number 10, Lanique said emo hair. How? What do you mean emo hair? This isn't even a face cam video. How do you know I have emo hair? I don't have emo hair. That was back in high school. It's been a long time since I was in high school, my friend. Emo hair. The nerve of this guy. We got $2 from that one, though. That's good. Let's go ahead and record a movie. Oh, we have a tag today, don't we? Yeah, we do. Record tag. This was from Justin Jack, who hated my videos a while back, but now he wants me to do a questions that nobody asked tag video over here. Let's make sure we can get like a really good editing time for this one, so it'll do really good, hopefully. Let's see here. That's going to be 5 and 6. That's not too bad. If we could get like a 7 for this one, though, it might help us out here quite a bit. 5 and 5. Nope. Not quite. Nope, that's even worse. Come on, game. 5 and 5. No. I mean, I'll settle for like a 6 and a 6 if we can. I mean, the editing time is actually pretty good, but the recording time isn't really too great. I really need to figure out, like, what's the recipe over here? Like, what should I be looking for? Like, does the recording time to the editing time, does that really matter? Or is it just all about editing? I'm not sure which is the important part over here. I do know that editing is really important, but I'm not sure if the recording has anything to do, any influence on the editing as well. And that's not what I'm looking for. We're looking for tags here. You know what? Let's just go with 3 and 7. Sounds good enough. So we'll record that one. This will be the tag video here. What were we talking about, though? We were talking about negativity in the comments and whatnot. When I first started, it really would bother me just because, well, actually, when I first started, I never really got too many negative comments just because nobody watched my videos. So there was never enough, like, people watching for there to be much negativity about it. On occasion, though, I would get something really, like, mean, like about my quality of my audio, for instance. I'd be like, this sounds fucking terrible. Fuck off or something. And I'd just be like, I'm a sad panda now. Instead of a sad falcon, I was a sad panda. But I used to read those and be like, damn, that sucks, huh? And I would just kind of use that as motivation to get better, whether it was like getting better audio, whether it was like a comment about just feeling uncomfortable. Basically, negativity, I kind of use it to turn it into a positive, where I got something bad, I'd be like, okay, this guy's kind of an asshole the way he went about it, but even in his own asshole way, maybe I could use that to improve, so other future people probably won't feel the same way this dick over here feels the same way about my video. So I would kind of use it as a way to turn it into a positive for one. But on occasion, even early on, I would just still feel kind of bad and be like, well, that sucks. We did our Floppy Bird, we did the tag video. Let's go ahead and do our daily vlog if we can. 6 and 6 is actually pretty good. So let's go over here. Sad panda.jpg. Okay, that's going to be the daily vlog here today. So, even to this day, I don't really get them too much now, but I still on occasion do. I'll get like the odd negative comment here or there. You kind of have to be able to tell when people are joking around, though, and when they're not. And that's kind of like the most difficult part about YouTube, because when you read something, sometimes you take it in the wrong way because maybe somebody's being sarcastic. So you have to read and you're kind of like, is this person being legit or are they just fucking around? And you don't know like how to take it. For the most part, though, people aren't really too negative these days on my videos. But if they are, it doesn't really bother me anymore just because eventually you grow thick skin where it doesn't really affect you anymore. Especially if you have a pretty good community behind your videos as well. Like, I enjoy like talking to you guys like I do in my videos over here, sharing my information that I've picked up over time. sharing you my personal details as well, and just having fun engaging with you guys not only through the videos but through the comments as well when I take my time to go through videos and answer comments. So I've built up enough of a good community that even when I get this stray comment where it's just somebody being a jerk, it's just kind of like, whatever, it doesn't really bother me anymore. And that's mostly, it comes with, over time, I'm going to say, just confidence. When you get more confidence in your own videos, it doesn't really bother you at some point. It's just going to be like, okay, cool, whatever. You just have to realize that some people are just going to be dicks to be dicks. That's kind of like the main premise over here. Let me look at my comments first, though. Kibby, look at 817. You can thank me later. Did I make a faux pas there, Kibby? Oh, thanks for looking out. We have Black Widow. I absolutely cannot stand you in this video. This video, huh? What about the other ones, Black Widow? We have Karolek. You record only for money. Do I? I have $1 in my bank account. I've gone broke doing YouTube, Karolek. I feel that you are lying to me, Karolek. And we have Bessie Mieni. This audio is terrible. You know, Bessie Mieni, I can't tell you any more about my audio. I've tried to make it sound good, okay? You jerks. You record only for money. Look, dog, I have $1, okay? I'm trying to live off, like, I'm living in the streets right now in the game, okay? I'm trying to get off of the streets, so yeah, maybe it's for money. Maybe the guy in the game that I'm playing as should go out there and get a real job because this Tube Tycoon business is not really doing too well for him. Okay, so we've done our Sad Panda. I guess we'll do one more Floppy Bird and we'll wrap it up, huh? Yeah, so let's go ahead and record a game. Interest is still relatively high, so let's go ahead and do that one. So, after a while, the comments, even the negative ones, just become more of a, whatever. I don't really care. And here's the thing you gotta realize. One of the things you could do early on that's a mistake is sometimes accepting people to be dicks and just, like, keeping around. Like, for instance, let's say, for instance, you're still a small channel. And you have a commenter on your videos that shows up pretty often, so you're thinking, oh, cool, it's one of my, regular viewers. And this happened to me early on, by the way, I should note. But it was like this type of commenter that would just show up every single video and just leave like nothing but negativity. Like, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong. Like basically just the whole backseat gaming thing. Nowadays, I really ignore backseat gaming as well. That's another thing you'll eventually learn to ignore. Whenever you see people telling you like, this is how you should do that, I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah. I just like read it and I'm kind of like, okay, cool. I don't really pay too much attention to those just because, it's a lot different when people just sit and watch your video and see the errors that you make, as opposed to like actually sitting down themselves, playing the game themselves, and talking as much as I talk, and over here like trying to keep a flow of commentary happening non-stop while at the same time paying attention to the game. It's a completely different aspect, believe me. A lot of people think it's a lot easier to just kind of play a game and talk. Try it out for yourself sometime. Just give it a try. See how well you could actually communicate your thoughts at the same time while trying to keep like focus on the game, and see how many errors you make, and then go back and be like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't be too difficult on those people trying to do the same thing on YouTube. Now, if it's a person that just basically sits there the entire video and doesn't say much, and they're just kind of quiet, is this a joke? No, it's not a joke. I'm gonna go rest now. We have to... That was an example. If it's somebody with that type of playstyle, maybe then you are probably a bit more liable in terms of being like, what is this guy's problem for making so many errors in a game? That I could probably understand. Like, if they're more focused on the game than on actually commentary and keeping people, like, entertained or whatever reason, that you could probably just be like, more like, dude, you're not really talking too much over here. What's the reason why you're making all these errors nonstop? But if you have like somebody that's really active in commentary and they're kind of like mostly, their main premise is to entertain through commentary and just the game style or the gameplay, then it's a bit more difficult, and then I think you should probably lay off on the whole like backseat gaming. But anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent over here. We're at -$9. We have new emails as well. I was about to say new meals. Apparently I'm hungry now too. Well, I probably would be since I don't have any money in the game now. How am I surviving? We have a tag from Loda. Hello, I'd like to invite you to record a tag on just one word. I just recorded it on my channel and think you may like it. Good luck on recording. Lota, or Lada. I got a lot of words for you right here, Loda. I don't even know what that means. Let's see. So, I went on a tangent, but what I meant was backseat gaming. So I had this commentator back in the days that would just basically show up every video and just be like, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong. And I'd just be like, okay, cool. And I'd just be like okay with it because I felt it was still a regular viewer. And that's okay. Like some people, I feel that they just have more of a, they don't really express themselves too properly, so you can kind of misconstrue what they have to say based on just how they express themselves. So what I'm trying to get to the point here is that if you have people like that, just criticizing everything you do, don't feel like you have to change everything about you to cater to that one person. That's what I'm trying to get to here. Here's the point. Do not cater your style of whatever you do, your gameplay, your commentary, just to cater to one person. Because if you cater to that person, you're still not catering to everybody else that watches your videos. You cannot cater to one single individual, one group of people. You have to cater to a mass audience, is what I'm trying to get at here. So if you start worrying too much about what one person says, you're ignoring an entire other audience. So you kind of have to meet it halfway, where you kind of want them to feel comfortable with your commentary or just your videos in general, but you also have to figure that, hey, there's also another audience that might not feel the same way. And you can kind of get caught up in that. I know I did for a fact, like, just be like, oh man, I gotta do this stuff this way now to keep this person around. And the other type of comments you'll also get are just people being jerks. And these are just like the straight up jerk ones where they're just kind of like, fuck you, you're a dick, you're terrible. And they'll use like a variety of different insults for you. And by the way, some of these insults will kind of conflict with each other. Like they'll call you like, I don't want to repeat these on my video, but they'll just say insulting words that kind of counteract with each other. Or, like, you read it, right? You're kind of like, well, that doesn't make any sense. How could I be this, but be this at the same time? And I'll let you use your imagination for that one. But they use some sort of insult that's kind of like, it doesn't really, it conflicts with each other, right? So you're thinking, that doesn't even make any sense at all. But, don't let people be jerks to you. Like, I know, like, when I used to, like, check out the Reddit for Let's Plays, people would talk about the difficult viewers, right? So this is pretty good for us, right? Yeah. People would talk about their difficult viewers. Do we have any more points here? We have one. What are we trying to acquire here? We already have tags, right? Yeah. So the next one's going to be record show. Already bought? Oh, we could buy the Explosion in Films. Oh, let's do it. Alrighty, cool. We have Explosion in Films now, too. I'm not sure what that does, but nothing can catch the attention better than a good old explosion in the films. Alrighty, I guess we'll probably take a look at that here pretty soon. Boom, boom, boom. Record game. Boom, boom, boom. Career. That's where we're just at. Okay, I guess probably in record movie. Record. Why do I keep saying record movie? Record movie, Falcon. It's not record movie. Other. Nothing here. Sports and cooking. Nope. Tags. Simple vlogs. I guess maybe it's going to be part of the video at some point. I don't know. I'll keep an eye out for that. So let's do our... We have another tag, don't we? We absolutely do. Just one word. 6 and 7. That's pretty good. Go ahead and make that one. So, what was the point here we were making for this one? Oh, just people being jerks in general. I would read a lot of comments of people be like, somebody showed up and said this and that, and then that person would go ahead and engage the person being rude for whatever reason. Don't feel like just because somebody's being a jerk to you and because you don't have that much of a big viewer base that you have to cater to that person as well. Like, just be like, oh, I'm sorry you feel this way about me or whatever it is. Like, if somebody's just being a jerk, don't feel like you have to cater to them, because here's the thing, like, a lot of people feel, and I've gotten this a lot of times before in the past, like, where somebody will just be like a complete jerk to me, and since I no longer just roll with the punches anymore, I don't just be like, I don't cater to that person anymore, I'll actually respond to, like, their negative comment, and I'll just be like a smartass about it or something, because I don't really want to engage with people, like, word to word, just be like over here like, fuck you, man, blah, blah, blah. I don't really want to take the time with that. And for the most part, I do ignore negative comments, but on occasion, whenever I'm feeling kind of like whatever, I'll go ahead and respond to a negative comment. I'll just be really sarcastic and a smartass about it, as you probably are fully aware of how much of a smartass I can be. Let's see here. We got a recommendation from Jack Tuck Ma'am. Hey, thanks a lot, dude. So I'll engage the viewer that was negative, and I'll just respond in a really witty, like sarcastic, dry manner or something. And then people, when you do that, will just flip their shit. Like, this is what I get most of the times when I do that. How dare you say that to me? You just lost yourself a viewer. You just lost yourself a sub. People feel that because you're doing videos for YouTube, you have to cater to them every single moment of I guess, their viewership, whatever the hell it is. Like, if you say anything, I guess, negative to that person in return, even though they're being a dick to you, if you say anything in return, they threaten you with, you just lost yourself a viewer or a sub, enjoy YouTube, you failure, blah, blah, blah. Look, Don't ever worry about that. You'll see that comment too often if you ever engage people. My advice would be just ignore them completely. But if you want to be a smartass about it like I am, then go for it. But I always like that comment that responds so much because these people are under the impression just because they watch your videos, they could be a dick to you. And if you say anything in return, fuck you, you just lost a sub. Like that means the world to you. I mean, and if you're an early channel and you're still small, maybe it'll affect you a little bit. But here's the thing, dude. You don't want to have that person watching your videos so they're going to be a dick. That's basically the premise here. You want to circle yourself in YouTube with a lot of like positive people that enjoy the commentary, enjoy your videos, and just, you know, want to have fun, interact with you in the comments. That's cool. Get yourself, you know, circled up with people like that. But if you have like these assholes that feel that just because they're going to be watching your videos, they could be a dick to you, don't keep those type of people around. Just tell them to fuck off. Don't tell them to fuck off, but just ignore them. Eventually they'll probably give up or whatever. Or if you want to be a smartass about it, go for it. But do not feel that just because they're being a jerk and you have a low viewership, you have to put up with it. Don't ever do that. It's gonna really affect you long term, so just a heads up, don't deal with that. Just, if somebody's being a dick, either tell them to stop being a dick or just ignore them, block them, do whatever you have to do. But don't ever feel like just because you have a low viewership, you have to cater to that person now, because it's not the way to go about things here. Is it me or the max quality? It's not 144 maxes, you're here early again. So that was just a tag video. Let's do a record movie, Falcon. God damn it, how many times, dude? Daily vlog. 4 and a 6? That's not too bad. 4 and a 6 again, huh? Record movie, not record movie. Record movie. Record. The process of doing. Ooh, 6 and 7, that's pretty good. So, what can we do here? Block the dicks. And that's going to be misconstrued in different ways. But again, that goes back to what we're talking about here. Just block them. If you don't want to give them the time to respond to them or whatever, just block them. And what's really cool about here's a YouTube thing that, you know, if you don't have a channel, you might not know about this, but you do have a chance with YouTube. You can never block people from watching your videos, but you could block them in terms of their comments. So they'll think they'll be leaving a negative comment towards you, but if you've already blocked them through YouTube, that comment will show up for them, but you'll never receive it. So in their mind, they're insulting you, or whatever the hell they're doing, but you never see the comment. So it's kind of really funny. People don't really know when they've been shadow blocked. I guess it's called shadow banned or whatever, but they could still watch the video, they could leave their dislikes, and don't even worry about their dislike. The dislikes only help you out in terms of search results, because it's interaction with your videos, and that's something that YouTube pays attention to. And whenever you see interaction, whether it's positive or negative, it's still interaction, so it means that video must be controversial enough, so they'll probably want to bump it up in the rankings. So don't even worry about dislikes. I get a lot of dislikes on a lot of stuff that I do, especially things that I'm not too... At least things that the channel isn't really too familiar with. Like, I think actually like a couple of days ago, I released a video for Unreal World, and it's a game it's a very, like, you know, almost hardcore roguelite game, so a lot of people were leaving dislikes for that because it's something that they're just not fond of for whatever reason, whatever. So people leave dislikes, and, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, those dislikes will still help you when it comes to ranking. Just whenever you do something that's outside of your comfortable bubble, or at least things that are different from what you're kind of used to doing, people will probably dislike it because they just don't like that. They'll be like, oh, I don't like this at all, so I'm gonna dislike it. So it doesn't really matter to dislike your video. It's still going to help you out in terms of your rankings, so whether it's a like or a dislike, not really a big deal. So even if these people over here leaving negative comments and just being dicks, even though you can't see the comments anymore, even if they dislike your video, don't worry about it because it's kind of helping you out in the rankings anyway. So again, either shadow ban them, tell them to stop being dicks, but just do not let them be like, hey, you know, fuck you, and you're going to be like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll try to do better. Just do not deal with that type of, you know, weird viewer abusive relationship, I guess you could probably even say. By the way, Block the Dicks might be our highest ranked video of all time. I guess people saw Block the Dicks and they thought they were talking about over here, like, you know, keeping somebody from getting their game on at night over here, just being that cock block. No, not that type of Block the Dicks. We're literally talking about blocking people who are being jerks, that type of dick. Let's see the comments here. This is so funny, says Jack PL. Ficus Play says, oh crap, Falcon's over here shooting. We have Piniac that says, poor audio quality. Piniac, get out of here, right? Hendo7 says, why are you still on YouTube? And then, oh my god, unsub. Lempamo just was really upset about this. Did we really lose him as a sub, though? I don't think I saw my sub count drop. I think this guy's lying to us right now. Anyway, so we got $3 out of that one. Yeah, look at that. We're -6. We're almost out of the negatives one more time. So that was our vlog, right? Let's go ahead and do our basic vlog here for today. We have a 5 and a 5. It's not too bad. We still haven't used our explosion thing, have we? 3, 7, that's kind of low. Kind of low. 5 and 3, that's even worse. 4 and 4, it's kind of even worse. Basic B-log. 4 and 5. I'll go with the 4 and 7, why not? About a Sicilian suitcase. Wowee. Apparently, this is what's happening. In the game, we're broke out of our mind, but we could still somehow afford Sicilian suitcases. We literally went to Italy and bought this handmade by some craftsmanship, some superb craftsman over in Italy. It's a Sicilian suitcase, authentic. We will make the vlog on that one right there. Alrighty, and this should be the last thing that we're doing here today before we start wrapping it up. So, as I mentioned, guys, keep leaving your comments as well in the comments below. Anything that you want me to talk about, any sort of questions when it comes to YouTube, I will definitely talk about them. As I mentioned, we talked about the negative comments here today, because I read a lot about that. You guys want me to talk about that. We talked about last episode about YouTube personalities, because people were asking me about how the personalities work out. So just keep leaving topics down below that you want me to talk about, and I'll cover them. I have no issues doing that. I have some stuff that I could talk about myself too, but if I could kind of just, give you a hand in whatever you want to learn about, I don't really mind doing that. At the same time, it does seem that the majority of you guys are enjoying more of the stuff that we talk about in this series than the gameplay itself. No knocking the game, but it's still, an early beta project. It's a free game. I'm sure there's still a lot more development to come ahead from it, but, for now, I do enjoy mostly just talking about how this relates to YouTube as opposed to just, playing the game for an MLG satisfaction, So let me do one more video so I could rest and the game could save for us as well. So let's go record a game. Floppy Bird number 12. The interest is really high over here. And this will be the last one. Let's see how we do here. We're up to -5. Block the dicks over here. 300 views. Really excited about that one. I can't even remember the first time. You know what? I think the first time we ever cracked like a really high number was when I was doing Batman Arkham Origins. I did that because I got the game early. Well, let me tell you, by the way. I got that game early because my friend worked at a game shop, so he let me borrow the game early. And I recorded the game, and I think I released the game like before the street date or whatever. Number one, scummy thing to do for me as a person. If you're going to be like, especially... It was a scummy thing to do, but I was a small channel. So, you know what? Let's talk about this next episode. Well, let's talk about embargoes, because a lot of people tell me about how to get in touch with developers and publishers and buying games and things like that. So, you know what? I think this actually falls into that whole category. You know what? Next episode, we'll talk about embargoes. I will catch you next time.